Hey, I just quickly wanted to say I put some timestamps in the description of the video so you can skip ahead to any part of the video you want to watch. I have not figured out the YouTube chapters feature yet, but I am trying to get that working. In this video, I will go over the abilities and items and then showcase a game using this build. Let me know if you guys like this video format for builds or if there's anything you think I can improve on. I have been getting comments about my mic picking up my breath and keyboard in previous videos. I messed around with some settings and I think I fixed it, but let me know what you think. Anyway, here's the video. Hello everyone, I decided to make a Geist video. I've been having a lot of fun on this hero. I feel like she's really overtuned and you may as well take advantage while you can and get your rank up. So first, I'm going to talk about the abilities. Essence Bomb. Sacrifice some of your health to launch a bomb that deals damage after a brief arm time. Self-damage type is Spirit and can be mitigated. When you upgrade it, increases the radius, increases the damage. It makes so the bomb will leave a toxic mess on the ground, dealing 26% of the original damage per second for 6 seconds. And it looks like this. And this earthquake on the ground is the damage over time. Next ability, Life Drain. Create a tether that drains enemy health over time and heals you. Target must be in line of sight and within max range to drain. You can shoot and use other abilities during the drain, but your movement speed is reduced by half. Alt cast to give health to friendly heroes. Upgrading it increases the damage, then increases the duration. Then enemy is silenced while being drained life. Requires line of sight. Next is Malice. Sacrifice some of your health to launch blood shards that apply a stack of Malice. Each stack slows the victim and increases the damage they take from you. The slow effect decreases over time. Upgrading reduces the cooldown, then increases the damage, and then increases the amount of blood shards. Alright, the ultimate. Soul Exchange. Swap health levels with an enemy target. There's a minimum health percentage that the enemy can be brought down to, and a minimum health amount received based on the victim's current health. Upgrading it reduces the cooldown, reduces the minimum health. Then when you cast it, it does the debuff on the enemy. And the wording is a little bit wrong. It says swaps health levels with an enemy target, but I'm going to show how that's actually wrong. So I'm going to bring this guy all the way down, and I'm going to put myself at half. So you would assume that he would go to half and I would go down if we're swapping health, right? But no, he doesn't get healed at all. See that? Doesn't quite work the way that it says. And also, even though he's way lower than me and it's not swapping, I'm being healed when I use it. So you will still receive the minimum, but it doesn't actually heal the enemy. If you have more health than them, you can still heal yourself with it. Alright, this build is called Phantom's Embrace by GarvesGaming. It's just up here at the top if you want to use this build in your own games. On the ability order that I like to go, I like to start out with getting Malice, and then I get Essence Bomb and then upgrade Malice, just so it has the shorter cooldown. Then I grab Drain Life, and then I start upgrading Essence Bomb, get Soul Exchange at 3,000 souls, finish maxing out Essence Bomb, finish maxing out Malice, and then I grab one click on Soul Exchange, and then I max out Life Drain, and then I finish maxing out Soul Exchange. Okay, we're going to talk about the items now. So these are the laning items. And these are healing items. I like to get the healing items. Like I grab one of these really early, probably first item or second item, but I grab one of these really early. Restorative Shot, if you like to be more aggressive, this is the one I like to grab. If I'm going to be kind of a little bit more passive in lane, then I get extra regen. The bonus ammo from extra regen is super nice, plus it does give you a lot of health. And since your abilities take health to cast, this is a really good option. The Headshot Booster, overall, really good item. It allows for you can just take big chunks of health just by landing a sneaky headshot. And that bonus 40 landing on top of a grenade, you can take like half of someone's health instantly, kind of catch people off guard a little. Also, it does later on upgrade into Headhunter. Enduring Spirit. This is a super good item for this character. It fits perfectly with her kit. It gives her more health, gives her spirit power, and it gives her spirit lifesteal, which all of her kit is based on lifesteal. Sprint Boots. This is basically a must-buy for this character, and the reasoning is because the character is kind of slow. None of the abilities give you any type of movement. None of them give you mobility. None of them dash, anything like that. As a matter of fact, this one slows you when you cast it, and this will upgrade into Enduring Speed, which this says reduces the effect of movement slows, and that works on this. So this is a really good option, especially since it upgrades into this. Extra Spirit, 14 spirit power for 500 is really good, plus a little bit of extra health. and eventually is upgraded into Improved Spirit, which gives you health, regen, and damage, and even more Spirit, and then also Boundless Spirit, which is even more of all of those things. The 2 movement speed is really, really good. Alright, Mystic Burst. This will give you some weapon damage, some spirit power, and also spirit shield. And if you land a big hit more than 80 on an ability, which you will with Essence Bomb very easily, it'll do a bonus damage, which this will later on upgrade into Improved Burst, which is just this but better. Mystic Reach. This gives you a little bit of tankiness with the bullet resistance and a little bit of spirit power for spirit power, but it also increases your ability range, which makes the circle on this grenade bigger. Makes so you can latch on to people bigger. These you don't really notice because they go so far anyway, but the real thing is the ult. It's a lot easier to land your ult if you can do it a little bit further away. Mid game. So these you can get in any order, really. It's not super crucial to buy in this exact order. I do like to get Kinetic Dash and then Warpstone first, and then I kind of just fill in the blank. Warpstone, I would not skip. This one you need to get because this will allow you to actually land your ult. And since this guy doesn't have a ton of stamina and she walks relatively slow, extra mobility is huge. Plus, it gives you good amount of weapon damage, 20%, plus 14, 34% weapon damage, 8 spirit power, and when you blink, you get a miniature bullet armor for 5 seconds. So this is a really good item. I say this is a must item on this character. Spirit Lifesteal, similar to Enduring Spirit, it just kind of fits perfectly with this guy's kit. It gives you Lifesteal on all your abilities, makes you more tanky. Just an overall good item. Improves cooldown. This is nice to have. Life Drain and the Soul Exchange have pretty long cooldowns, and this will reduce it by a lot. Plus, the Malice, you're eventually going to get to the point where you're absolutely spamming this like every second. It's just good to have less time on your cooldown. Always a good buy, really. Healing Booster. Similar to these two, this whole character is based on lifesteal, right? And I'll point out, Healing Booster also affects other items with lifesteal. So this is 23%. If I buy Healing Booster, now this is 29%. This goes clear up to 44%. So having this will make all of your other lifesteal items even better. And this reduces the amount of healing reduction that other players will put on you. You get a lot of value. Enduring Speed. So for this character specifically, this is really nice because you're going to be slowing yourself when you cast Drain Life, and you're already pretty slow. In addition to everyone else trying to slow you, you're slowing yourself. So Enduring Speed reduces the effectiveness of movement slows and just makes you run faster. Gives you a good amount of tankiness, 14% base plus 775, not too expensive. Soul Shredder, 17% weapon damage, and when you shoot a target, they have a debuff that increases the spirit damage they take. Every person doing damage to them with spirit has extra lifesteal. Not just you, your whole team does. This fits perfectly with all of these other, you got spirit lifesteal here, spirit lifesteal here. This increases the spirit lifesteal, and you got even more spirit lifesteal. So you just kind of stack that up. You just make you really, really tanky. Mystic Vulnerability. A good amount of spirit, 8 plus 6% resist on top of when you cast an ability on the person or do anything that does spirit damage, they have a debuff that reduces their spirit resistance. Again, because it's a debuff on the target, any of your team also casting on the same target is going to get that same benefit. This does later on upgrade into escalating exposure. Suppressor. This makes you a little bit more tanky with the 50 health, but you also get 12 spirit power. And it's only 1250 souls for this, so it's pretty good price for 12 spirit power. And when you cast any spirit damage on the target, their fire rate is slowed. But really this is cool because it upgrades into Mystic Slow, which will make so their fire rate is slowed even more, and their movement speed is slowed, which is super OP for Drain Life because you just throw this on them while you're throwing your mouses at them like crazy, and they could just barely walk. It's pretty funny. Alright, Spirit Armor is actually kind of like extra good for this character because when you cast any ability like this one, it says self-damage 40. However, the damage that you're casting and hurting yourself is spirit. So if you have Spirit Armor, it actually reduces the cost of these. That 40 damage goes up and up and up as you buy more items. See, if I buy that one item, now the self-damage is 189. So Spirit Armor goes both ways. It stops the enemy from hurting yourself, and it stops yourself from hurting yourself. Good item, and also obviously upgrades into improved Spirit Armor. Okay, Headhunter. This is the upgrade from Headshot Booster. It's kind of a good fill-in item, but if you shoot people in the face, you get healed. And again, this is 8%. If I have Healing Booster, now it's 10%. Just a good item overall. Makes you a little bit more tanky. Gives you a bit more damage. Core items. So there's a few things I'm going to hurry and point out. The first item that costs 6,200 that I would get is Mystic Reverb, and you want to imbue this on Malice because Mystic Reverb slows them and does bonus damage, and Malice already slows them. So you're slowing them twice, and they do stack. Malice reaches pretty much across the map, and you can spam it. It's such a short cooldown. Mystic Reverb goes on Malice. It's the first 6,200 item I would buy. The second one I would buy is Leech. After that, it's not so important which order you get them in. You kind of get whatever you want. You can get these in any order, but I would just get this before I get this, is all I'm saying. Improved Burst is an upgrade off of Mystic Burst. If you deal a big chunk of damage, it just does even more, but now it's based on max health percentage. So later on, this is even better. So right now, this is doing 35, but characters have low health pools, so 35 is actually a good amount. But later on in the game, 7% of like a Moe and Krill that's super built, that's a lot of damage. Improved Reach makes so everything has a bigger range. It's the exact same thing as this, except whatever you imbue is just even more. I like to put this on the grenade, the Essence Bomb. It makes the circle just absolutely huge, and it just makes it like in a team fight, you can just cover more area. Improved Spirit, upgrade off of Extra Spirit, eventually upgrades into Boundless Spirit, gives you a ton of Spirit, gives you more tankiness, and it gives you movement speed. That's when it starts to be good, is the movement speed. As soon as you get over here, it gives you even more movement speed, but then also 25% weapon damage. Superior cooldown, self-explanatory, everything is lower cooldown. I like to imbue the ult so I can just cast more ults, that's all. We already went over Mystic Reverb, kind of, but anyway, it gives you more life still, increases your range even further. So if you have this, you know, I'll imbue that there, but then you also have this. Look how big the grenades are. They're huge. So, alright, after Mystic Reverb, I like to get Leech. This gives you more spirit power, more weapon damage, and more tankiness. Just overall really good. A lot of your damage is pretty hybrid because your abilities do a ton of spirit damage, but you're also shooting a lot, and this guy's gun is actually pretty good. The lifesteal from bullet and spirit is good. Improved spirit armor. This is super nice because, again, it stops damage from you hurting yourself, and it also stops damage that you take from other players. It's an upgrade off of Spirit Armor. It's a good item. Mystic Slow. This upgrades off of Suppressor. 18 Spirit Power, which is okay for the price. And the health is okay. It's not like amazing. It's alright. The thing that really makes this good is the passive at the bottom that says when you do spirit damage, they're slowed. So this affects all of your abilities. It affects Drain Life, everything. And remember, Malice is already slowing them, plus you have Mystic Reverb slowing them, plus you have Mystic Slow slowing them, and you can spam Malice. It's such a short cooldown, especially later on in the game. It's like a 1.5 second cooldown. You're just throwing this out, and it's really easy to land. You're slowing them like crazy. Alright, let's go into the late game section. This, honestly, is kind of a... It's like, oh, you need to buy an orange item, so buy one, and this is it. It gives you cooldown reduction, spirit lifesteal, and more tankiness. Plus, when you shoot a target, you get this 41% buildup per shot. As soon as that's 100%, obviously, then you get this bonus down here. 35% fire rate and 50 spirit power. More or less a fill-in item, but it is really good. Soul Rebirth. This is good for every person in the whole game. Gives you spirit power, gives you cooldown reduction, and a second life. If you die and you have this up, you respawn a few seconds later in the exact same spot. Siphon Bullets. This makes you way more tanky, gives you tons of bullet resistance, a good amount of health, and every time you shoot a target, you steal max health from them, making them more squishy and you more tanky. This still lasts 20 seconds. It's a good amount of time, but it's not like forever. Like if you team wipe them, by the time you see them again, all the stacks are going to be gone. Down the Spirit, we kind of already talked about this. Upgrades from Improved Spirit, more health, more movement speed, more spirit, more damage. Good item. Escalating Exposure. This upgrades from Mystic Vulnerability. The thing that makes this so cool is it still has the minus 12% spirit resistance on spirit damage, which is what this does. But also it says when you deal spirit damage to the enemy, it stacks a spirit amplification on the target every time you deal damage. And you can stack it up 20 times with 5%, which means it's 100% increase. It doubles all spirit damage on the target. And it reduces their spirit resistance by an additional 12, so it more than doubles the spirit damage a target will take. And because it's a debuff on a person rather than a buff on you, every single person on your team also has the benefit from the stacking debuff. And it stacks really fast with things like Drain Life. You throw this on a person, just Drain Life, look at the stack. It's going up. Just from one drain live, you have 6 stacks, and that's without anything else. Okay, situational items. Healed main. I usually don't like to get this. It does give you a good amount of health, and it makes so any of your spirit damage gives them a healing reduction debuff if your team needs that, but I would rather my team buy an item like this so I could buy other items. But it's definitely a good option. Plus, it does heal you when a hero dies. It's a good buy if you need healing reduction. If you don't need healing reduction, then I would just skip this. Unstoppable. This is really good if they have tons of stuns, or if they're constantly focusing stuns on you, or if you feel like you just can't do anything in a fight because of the CC. You know, there's a Dynamo ult, there's a Lash ult, there's just everything. Then Unstoppable is a good option. Gives you some spirit resistance, some bonus health, some spirit power, some movement, and as an active that makes you invulnerable to CCs for 6 seconds. Again, situational. You don't always need it. Knockdown. I mainly get this if I'm trying to counter one person in specific. It does give you 18 spirit power, which is a good amount for the price, and it gives you an extra stamina, and since this character kind of lacks on stamina, it's not a bad purchase. But the real thing about this is the active. It'll summon an anvil above a person's head and just bonk them onto the ground and stun them, and if they're like up in the air, it'll push them to the ground. It's good for characters like Vindicta or Grey Talon, or if you just want to have a stun, then it's a really easy point-click stun. Curse. This is kind of like an anti-carry item. If there's one person that's just absolutely popping off and you need to shut them down, you can just curse them in a fight and they're silenced and whatever else. It's pretty good. It disarms them. It does give you a good amount of spirit power. However, for the price, I actually don't always get this item, and the reasoning why is because Life Drain will also silence a person when it's fully maxed. So by the time I would be buying this, usually I have this already, so I don't need it. However, this does give you the option to have 2 silences. If you're buying this, it's pretty late in the game. Okay, I hope you like that build. This character is really fun. She's really overtuned right now. Take advantage of it while you can. I thought he was going to parry me. I almost missed that punch.
This is just a taste of what's to come.
I probably freaking choked there.
Go back to your bar while you...
Oh wow, I threw that hard. Letting him get that parry was bad.
This is just the beginning. You won't win. What's yours is mine. Start with a single.
I think krill.
It's not my time to die.
Our purple wall is under attack.
Thanks for the rotate.
Headed to purple.
Your strength.
We're probably gonna lose yellow. There's like 4 here.
Your time runs short. This is just the beginning. It starts with a simple. You'll be.
I see Wraith.
You will suffer. From here, only misery. And
Mid boss?
they can't
Maybe?
escape.
What do you think?
Misery comes for you. There's no escape. This is just a taste of what's to come. Your time runs short. Face me.
Did he just ult the cube? What was that?
Your death is inevitable.
The silence is so good on the drain. Holy cow.
You won't walk into
Our yellow
I'm gonna try to kill purple walker. Can someone go yellow?
our yellow wall.
life is nothing but a
I'm coming to Infernus. Never mind, he's dead. Let's try to take a shrine maybe, since they're all dead.
Yeah.
Or even just base guardians.
the end comes. You will suffer. Misery comes for you. Start with it. Your time. I am reborn.
That silence is so good.
Feel the agony. Your death is inevitable.
Can we push onto a shrine, maybe?
Now die. This is just the beginning.
Keep on us roll.
This is just. Together we will not fall.
They only have one shrine left.
Yep, I think that's Jeej.
You think you're winning?
Their patron is exposed.
Yield. You're mine. You win.
Finish their Patreon.
Now die. Here only misery. Soon you will set. Grow. Start with a stick.
GG, everybody.
It's time for you to be rewarded.
917. Top souls, top damage, top OBJ damage, and top healing. Was I not top kills? Oh, this guy had 11, and these guys had 8 on the assists. I had 15 kill participation. This guy had 13. This guy had 13. This guy had 14. So top kill participation too. That was a fun game.